gray November morning, I'm sitting in front of Craig, my boss, watching him flip through my promotion request like it's a flyer for a yard sale. 5 years of extra shifts, canceled fishing trips, weekends I missed with my boys, all of it stuffed into a binder that he barely even glances at. He looks up, gives me that fake smile that means this meeting is over. "Your work's been fine," he says, "but not leadership material yet." Not leadership material. My gut tightens, but I keep it together. I've been here too long to fall apart over a couple of words. I nod, but I'm not done yet. I've kept our biggest client happy, fixed systems no one else could. I'm the guy who's in first and out last. No one else here does what I do. He doesn't even blink. That's great, but we're looking for someone who can manage a team, not just a shop floor. I can feel the heat rising in my face, but I don't let it show. I don't raise my voice. You want me to lead? Then stop throwing me the crap jobs no one else wants. Give me the tools, give me the respect, and I'll show you leadership. Craig cuts me off before I can finish. "We'll talk about this later. Right now, I need you to handle the supplier issue. Can you do that?" I stand up, my jaw clenched tight. This is the moment. I could push harder, demand more, but I don't. Instead, I nod. "Sure, I'll handle it." I walk out of his office, past the corner office with the window I've been eyeing for years. It's empty, of course, the glass reflecting my own tired face. Outside, I stop by my truck, and I make 2 decisions. First, I'm skipping the one vacation I've managed to plan this year. And second, I'm done writing the daily shop manuals that everyone depends on, but no one ever acknowledges. No more invisible work for a place that doesn't give a damn. I'm the operations foreman at Reading Industrial. Been here 5 years now. When I started, the floor was a disaster. The old foreman quit without leaving a single note or piece of advice, so I had to rebuild everything from scratch. Parts orders were a mess, the vendors were pissed, and there was no one else who knew how to fix the broken systems. I spent the first 3 months here staying late, working weekends, and putting the pieces back together. I created manuals for every machine, supplier contact, and workaround that could keep the place running smoothly. Stuff that no one else would ever think to document, but if they had to, they'd need it. They all depend on those manuals now. Guys don't even know I wrote them. But Craig, he never learned a thing about any of it. He showed up for meetings, took credit in quarterly reviews, and gave me cost of living raises that didn't even cover my gas for driving in early every day. Then came the Dawson and Cozy's contract, the big one. I did the groundwork. I tracked down the specs, worked with the engineers, found the right suppliers, and built out a plan that would keep them happy for the long haul. Craig, he just shook a few hands and smiled for the cameras at the signing ceremony, and that was enough to land him a fat bonus while I kept putting in the hours. Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass every day watching him coast. It didn't sit right with me, but I kept my head down. What else was I gonna do? Keep doing the work and wait for him to notice? That's what I thought for a while. But this latest promotion talk, it changed everything. The way he dismissed me, like I wasn't even close to what I'd already built here, like my contributions didn't matter. It was the last straw. And as I stood in that parking lot, staring at the corner office through the big windows, I made my decision. It wasn't just the promotion. It was the whole damn thing. I was done doing invisible work. If they wanted a leader, they weren't getting me at half speed anymore. Walking out of that meeting, I knew I wasn't coming back the same guy. Next morning, I don't show up at 7:30 like usual. I don't even bother with pre-shift prep. I walk in at 9 sharp, making sure to catch everyone's eye as I clock in. The first thing I hear when I step onto the floor is Jimmy from production, looking up from his station. "Hey Rick, you see the supplier mess?" I give him a casual shrug. "That's purchasing's job," I say, keeping it light but final. No more running around fixing problems I'm not getting credit for. He nods like he's not sure if I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. My phone buzzes with a couple of texts from Craig, probably trying to get me to fix something before it blows up. I don't even open them. I've stopped caring. By noon, a few more guys wander over, asking about the same issues. Parts orders late, some machines down. Dawson's got another demand that's piling up on the system. I just keep saying the same thing. That's not my problem anymore. It feels good, not being the guy who cleans up everyone else's mess. For once, I'm not running around, doing what no one else wants to do and getting nothing for it. My phone buzzes again. Another work emergency, probably. But I don't touch it. I already know what's waiting for me. I head home on time, no extra hours tonight. I cancel the week at the lake. That was supposed to be my escape, but I don't need it anymore. I've got something more important to do. I spend the night in the garage with my son. We're working on his dirt bike, taking it apart and rebuilding it together. It's been way too long since we had this kind of time, just the two of us. And for once, I'm not thinking about the shop or the next problem that's waiting for me when I go back. My phone buzzes all night with work problems, but I don't touch it, not once. I'm done playing the role of the guy who sacrifices everything for a place that wouldn't even notice if I disappeared. Tonight, I'm just a dad, fixing bikes and enjoying the silence. By the next morning, the shop floor is a disaster. Machines are down, parts are late, and the Dawson project, our biggest contract, is in freefall. I get a message from Craig. Need you to handle Dawson urgently. I don't respond. Instead, I sip my coffee and check the shared drive for the manuals I wrote. They're there. 200 pages of everything Craig and everyone else should have known by now. But nobody's read them. When Craig storms over to my station, his face is red and his jaw is tight. Rick, we've got a problem with Dawson. I need you to fix this. Now. I look at him for a second, let the silence stretch. The manuals are on the shared drive. Should be all the info you need, I say. I don't even get up. His face twitches. I don't have time for that. You're the one who knows how to fix it. Come on, Rick. Just help me out here. I don't budge. I've got an OSHA compliance review that's more important than Dawson right now, I say, keeping my voice calm but firm. Craig opens his mouth to argue, but I cut him off. You can figure it out, I say. I'm not the one who dropped the ball. I leave him standing there, frustrated and fuming. At 5 I'm walking out again, the same way I did yesterday. My phone starts buzzing before I even hit the parking lot. 8 missed calls. By the time I get home, there are 86 missed calls, most of them from Craig. The Dawson manager is threatening to walk. Deadlines are shot, machines are down, and the shop's in chaos. I don't pick up. I leave the phone in my truck and go inside, sit down for dinner. The kids are telling me about their day, and I don't let the work problems creep in. For the first time in years, I don't feel that pressure to fix everything. I sleep like a baby. By the third day, I'm sitting in the conference room with Craig and Martin. The tension is thick enough to slice. Craig's got that look, tight jaw, hands in fists, like he's just waiting for someone to screw up so he can jump in and save the day. Martin, on the other hand, gets straight to it. We need you to fix this Dawson mess, Rick, Martin says, no beating around the bush. Craig's right there, already fuming, his voice cutting through. The promotion's yours, just get it done. I let the words hang in the air for a second, then sit back in my chair. I'm not interested in a promotion anymore, Craig. They both freeze. Craig looks like I just slapped him across the face. But I'm not done. A competitor's already offered me a senior role with more pay, better benefits, full control over my team. Martin's eyes narrow, his lips tight. He's calculating, but not stupid. I can match the offer, he says quickly, almost too quickly. We value you here. Don't make a rash decision. I keep it steady. It's not just about the money, it's about respect, about authority. I lean forward, meeting both of their eyes. I've been holding this place together for 5 years. I deserve to run things the right way, without having to keep cleaning up everyone else's mess. I don't give them time to argue. I'll stay, but only if I have full control over my team, and I want Craig to stay in his current role. Martin blinks, surprised. Craig's face goes from red to white, but I can't care about that now. I leave them sitting there, stunned, and walk out, leaving my 2-week notice on the table behind me. As soon as the door shuts, I hear Martin call Craig's name, but I don't stop. I don't even look back. Monday morning, Martin calls me into his office. I can tell by the way he's leaning forward, looking like he's been waiting for me, that he's not wasting time. I've got a proposal for you, Rick, he says, leaning back in his chair. We need you in a bigger role, one where you can lead without these distractions. I want you as director of operations. Double your pay, 3 days a week remote, and you'll report directly to me. What do you say? I sit there for a second, weighing it. It's a great offer on paper. More money, more freedom. But that's not why I've stuck around for so long. I'll think about it over the weekend, I say, keeping it even. But I'm still dealing with Dawson. Let's get them stabilized first. Martin nods, clearly relieved that I'm not rushing to make a decision. I respect that. Let's handle the immediate issues, and then we can talk. I leave his office with the weight of it all hanging on me. I dive into Dawson's mess right after. I pull up the phone with a plan ready, laying out the exact steps to fix what's fallen apart. I go through it one by one, clear action points, deadlines, the whole thing. And by the time I'm done with the call, I can already tell I've won them over. I wasn't going to just swoop in and save the day. I was going to show them I was worth it by doing it the right way. I spend the rest of the day delegating, letting my guys handle what they could, while I focused on setting the direction. No more being the guy who fixes every little screw-up. If they can't figure it out, they need to learn how. Craig pulls me aside towards the end of the day. He's uneasy, but I can see the glimmer of desperation in his eyes. "Rick, we need to talk. I already know where this is going. I know you've been taking on a lot. I never meant to keep you in that position. I cut him off. You kept me down because you couldn't afford to lose me. You think I don't see that?" He stares at me, unsure how to respond. His face twitches like he wants to apologize but doesn't know how. "I'm not asking for your apology, Craig," I say. "Just don't forget that I've been here, doing everything for you. You know that. But I won't keep giving without getting something back." There's a long pause. He shifts his weight from foot to foot, clearly uncomfortable. But I'm done with the games. The power's shifted now. It's my turn to make the calls. "I'll think about it, Craig," I say, and I walk away, leaving him standing there, his words still hanging in the air. I don't need to hear the rest of his excuses. They don't matter anymore. What matters is what comes next. The weekend felt like a reset. I took my son fishing, the kind of quiet time we hadn't had in months. We talked about everything: school, the bikes he wanted to build, how he was getting better at his dirt jumps. It was good. But somewhere between the trout, the silence, and the conversation, I realized something. I'd outgrown the good soldier role, the one who does the work, takes the heat, and gets nothing but a pat on the back. It wasn't enough anymore. By the time Sunday night rolled around, I knew what I had to do. The next morning, I called Martin and told him I'd accept the offer, but with two conditions. The first was non-negotiable. I wanted to hire my own team. No more working with people who had no skin in the game. No more carrying the load for everyone else. The second, Craig stays in his position. As much as I wanted to throw him out on his ass, keeping him around would send the message that I was here to build, not to destroy. Martin's voice was hesitant but quick to agree. "I can make that happen. It's politically smart too," avoiding any backlash from Craig's side. "But are you sure you want to keep him in the mix?" I didn't hesitate. "Yeah, I'm sure. He'll play his part or he won't last long." By the time the announcement went out, I could feel the shift. Suddenly everyone who barely nodded at me before was shaking my hand, offering congratulations, acting like I was the new king of the castle. I couldn't help but notice Craig's reaction when he walked by my office. He dropped a folder on my desk without saying a word, then paused, eyes meeting mine for a fraction of a second. He cleared his throat and said, "The exec meeting is tomorrow. Got a few things for you to look over." I glanced at the folder, then at him. "I've got it, Craig. I'll review it." He stood there, his posture stiff. I saw it in his eyes. He knew. "Look, I didn't want to keep you down. I thought you'd be more comfortable where you were." I didn't react, didn't even flinch. "That's exactly the problem, Craig." He shifted on his feet. "I couldn't afford to lose you, Rick. I really couldn't." I let that hang in the air, but I didn't give him the satisfaction of an answer. What was there to say? If he hadn't noticed before, it wasn't my job to make him see it now. Instead, I left the room, walking out with that weight finally off my shoulders. The first few weeks in the new role feel like a reset. I'm picking up the pieces of a shop floor that's still running on fumes, trying to squeeze more out of what's already been stretched too thin. But something's different now. I'm not the guy running around fixing every little fire. I've got a team, and I'm delegating, not doing it all myself. I start by looking at the people who've been overlooked. There's Danny, the machine tech who's got a mind for troubleshooting like no one else, but nobody's ever given him a chance to step up. And Michelle, the parts clerk, who's got the supply chain mapped out in her head, but is always stuck filling out forms and tracking orders. I put them together on a project, give them some responsibility, and suddenly they're running circles around everyone else. I cut overtime by 40% in the first month. That's unheard of. Productivity goes up, and we start hitting our deadlines consistently. Even Dawson notices. They double their order. The whole floor is running smoother, and people are starting to respect the new direction. Craig and I don't talk much. We're not friends, but we're not enemies either. There's a quiet respect between us now, even if he doesn't quite understand the way I'm doing things. 6 months in, I get the call I didn't see coming. The board has voted, and they're bumping me up to VP. Craig actually gives the loudest endorsement. It's a surprise, but in a way, it's a relief. It's not the title or the office that makes me feel like I've won. It's the fact that things are changing. The work is being seen now, no more invisible work. That night, I head home on time, for the first time in years, to help my son with his science project. As we work through the details of his assignment, I think back to when I'd always been the guy showing up early, covering for everyone, going unnoticed. That's not me anymore. I'm making sure no other guy in this shop gets buried doing the work that goes unappreciated. And the best part? My son's watching me lead instead of just work. That's the kind of promotion that actually matters. I roll out a training program for in-house talent. Something real, something built by someone who's been where they are. No more just handing off a job and hoping it gets done right. We're focusing on the guys who've been buried in the background, the ones who've never gotten the recognition but keep the place running. Danny, the tech, is the first to step up. He's been here forever, but never had the chance to lead. Now, I'm putting him in charge of troubleshooting. I've seen the way he works, how he breaks down problems no one else can touch. He's got the instincts. I'm just giving him the space to prove it. Michelle, the parts clerk, she's next. She knows the supply chain better than anyone in the building. Now, she's building out processes that streamline everything, cutting out the dead weight that used to slow us down. I make sure she knows her value, not just the woman behind the counter, but someone who makes the whole system work. The results speak for themselves. Overtime drops 40%, productivity jumps. Dawson doubles their order because they can count on us now. They're not just another client, we're their partner. I get a call from Dawson's CEO, personally thanking us for turning things around. It's a nice change, the kind of acknowledgement I've been waiting for, even if it's not why I'm doing it. Martin stops by my office one afternoon, his usual cool demeanor replaced by a genuine look of approval. The board's never been happier with the results, Rick. You've turned this place around. I nod. I don't need the praise, but I take it anyway. It's not for me, though. It's for the team I've built, for the guys who had no chance before, now getting the recognition they deserve. Driving home that night, I think about the old me, the guy who showed up early, covered for everyone, and went unnoticed. That guy's gone now. I've chosen to lead, and I'm not cleaning up other people's messes anymore. And the best part? My son's watching me lead instead of just working. He's seeing what it looks like to have a real impact. That's the kind of promotion that actually matters.